Hello and welcome back to English for You. I'm Seb.
And I'm Kat.
And we're tired because we've had a long school day.
Oh gosh, yes we have, just like you guys. So when you were in high school, we've talked a little bit about our experiences in high school already, but what's it like in the UK when you're getting ready to go to like college or getting ready to graduate?
Right, I'm glad you asked that question because I think the UK and US system is very different in the last 2 years. So for the UK, there's different things you can do for the last 2 years, but normally when you're 17, 18, you do a thing called A-levels, which are a series of exams that you do in your last couple of months of school. And in preparation for these, you actually drop most of your classes.
Really?
Like you only take 3 or 4 classes in high school.
And they're all for the test?
Yes, you take exams on those classes. But it doesn't mean you have a shorter day. You just do a lot more with those.
Oh, okay.
So I did Spanish, for example.
Yeah.
And I had 6 to 8 hours of Spanish class a week.
Wow.
And 2 teachers
wow.
for Spanish. So we got to go into more into speaking as a separate class, more into listening as a separate class.
Okay.
Which was very interesting.
Yeah.
And it means that you come out of school with a lot more knowledge about an area. But some people say that it's not good to make 15-year-olds decide what they want to specialize in because you're 15.
I kind of agree because I had very different ideas of what I wanted to do when I entered high school and when I left high school. Yeah. But for us, we had, when you're a junior in high school, which is your second year of high school, 2 years before you graduate, you take the PSAT, the practice SAT, and that's optional. You don't have to do it. But if you do it, you can, and you get a high score, you can qualify for a scholarship, which is money to go to college. And I did. But my grades were not good enough to get the money, unfortunately.
That's a shame.
But after that, you can take either the ACT or the SAT. They're 2 different exams, and either one colleges will accept. I don't know if it's the same now because it's been a while, but I took both, and I just used the one with the higher score to apply to colleges.
Okay, that seems like a good strategy.
Yeah.
Although then you have to learn more, and you could say that you might be better to
it's the same kind of subjects.
Okay.
It's language and math and science. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, well, we certainly had a lot of different things to think about when we were 16. I don't know what is Taiwan's system just one set of exams or?
I think so. I think it's just the college entrance exam in different subjects. But
I see.
Yeah, that's a lot to study and a lot to think about when you're in high school. But we are actually not going to talk about that today because we're going to talk about the proposal that Leo and Grace made to send to the government to ask for shorter school hours. And they're going to tell us why they think so, and they're going to tell us what would be the benefit of that, what would be the good points of that. So let's go ahead and read what they wrote.
Reading. Writing a proposal for change. Petitioner, Leo Chen. Topic: School times for Taiwanese high schools should be changed to 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Suggestion: Many students feel that we spend too much time in school. We believe that the current school start time of 7:30 a.m. is too early and is causing problems. I've outlined some of the benefits of the proposal below. 1. Taiwan currently has one of the longest school days in the world. We as students are sometimes so exhausted that we can't focus in class. We believe that making the school day shorter will result in students having more energy to learn efficiently. 2. A later start time would allow students to have more time and energy to explore interests outside school. Life education outside school is important since it allows young people to learn a wider range of ideas and skills. 3. This change would let families spend more time with each other because they'll be able to have breakfast together. People are getting busier and busier, so we believe this is important.
All right, so we begin by looking at the header of this proposal. Of course, when you send a proposal, you have to format it correctly. You have to make it very formal looking. So probably they have their address or their school name on the top. And then it says, Petitioner, Leo Chen. So it's Leo who is formally doing this. Of course, Grace helped, but her name is not going to be on it at this time. So a petitioner. A petitioner is a person who creates a petition or signs a petition in order to change or ask for something. And a petition is a formal written request made to an organization, an official person, or the government, especially the government. You can also use petition as a verb, which means like to ask somebody formally to do something using a petition. So a lot of people make petitions about social issues or things to vote on.
Yes, actually in the UK there's a law. They have an official government website for petitions.
We do too.
And if there's 100,000 signatures on any petition, the government legally has to discuss it.
Exactly. I think it's about the same for the US. It might be a different number, but same
because of
same
population.
Rule. Yeah.
But I remember a few years ago, there was a petition to ban Donald Trump from entering the UK.
I remember that.
And it got so many signatures that the UK government had to discuss whether to make it a law. I mean, they didn't in the end, but
because you kind of gotta have the leaders of different countries visiting each other,
exactly.
Unfortunately.
But it was interesting to watch the debate.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we've talked about who is writing it. Obviously, it's Leo Chen. He's the petitioner. And he's also written the topic. So, you know, the reason he's petitioning or the thing that he's asking for. Topic, school times for Taiwanese high schools should be changed to 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay.
Assuming they have a lunch break, that'd be about 6.5 hours or maybe 7 hours.
Yeah, depending on how long the lunch break. But I think with 1 hour, it's okay.
Yeah, of course.
So this is the topic is the subject. So you can imagine if you're writing an email, this would be the little box that you fill in at the top with the title of the email. It's what Leo wants to achieve with the petition. And it's important that if you ever write a petition, you need to write your topic clearly and neutrally. No fancy titles. We're not writing Lord of the Rings. We're not trying to come up with something creative. You just want to make it as simple as possible. So that's what he's done here.
Yeah, exactly. You want to tell them exactly what you want. And then you tell them why you want it. So suggestion here is what they're kind of giving more details about what they want. The suggestion says, many students feel that we spend too much time in school. So a suggestion is like what you would suggest is a verb. So what Leo wants to ask for or say that the government should do or should let them change.
Exactly. So it begins, we believe that the current school start time of 7:30 a.m. is too early and is causing problems. Yeah, because if you have to wake up, get ready, and get to school before 7:30, because it starts at 7:30.
So I guess you'd have to wake up at 6 at the latest.
Yeah, that's not enough sleep for teenagers, I think.
No, it's not. So the article, the petition, says, I've outlined some of the benefits of the proposal below. So we have this first word in here, this outline as a verb. Let's learn what that means. The word outline is usually used as a noun, but you can also use it as a verb, and that's what we're doing here. So to outline something means to list or describe only the most important parts of something, especially something written, like an essay, a speech, or a plan that you have, something like that. In this case, we're outlining a proposal, the benefits of this proposal. So it means to give an outline of something. That's another way you could say it. Or to give some important points that you want somebody to especially know. And you'll usually see this as like a list or some bullet points so that it's very organized and it makes it very easy for the other person to read and understand. So an example sentence for outlining something, Violet outlined her plan for her group members, making sure they understood what she wanted to do. So what exactly are they outlining here?
Right, they're outlining a benefit of the suggestion. So a benefit is a noun, and a benefit of something is an advantage of it. For example, if you get 9 hours of sleep every night, then a benefit of that is you will have lots of energy during the day and find it easy to focus. Another benefit is that your health will also improve. Okay, so our example sentence for benefit is Jessica carefully thought about the benefits of moving house before she looked for a new apartment. Right, she might be thinking about, is it going to be too expensive to move? Like, what are the problems? But she'll also be thinking about, I really want to have that balcony. I want to have a bigger bedroom. Those would be benefits of moving house.
Yeah.
A benefit can also be a charity event as well, a special charity event that raises money for a cause. So a benefit in support of homeless youth, for example, would be a kind of benefit charity event.
Yeah.
So remember, we talked about this before. A proposal is an idea or suggestion that you put down in writing. Okay, so we saw in that sentence. So we're basically talking about, their suggestion to change the school times here. Okay, so we're continuing with the article. We have a list of reasons why or benefits to this proposal. First one is Taiwan currently has one of the longest school days in the world.
The longest, if I remember correctly.
I think it is. I remember hearing about this a few years ago.
I think I heard about it last year or 2 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
In 2016, at least, I know that there was a politician in Taoyuan called Wang Haoyu who said that he had found Taiwan officially had the longest high school day in the world.
Which is crazy because I lived in Korea. They school hard. And I was so surprised to find out that Taiwan's school day was longer than theirs.
But only by a bit. Korea's only half an hour shorter.
Only officially, because I think Koreans go to bushiban for a lot longer.
Yeah, there's that too. And I remember when I lived in China, people were often in bushibans on Saturdays and Sundays. So, there's different things. But
when do you do anything?
I think the lowest, though, was Argentina. I swear Argentina had like 5 hours, but I'm not 100% sure. But I swear Argentina has the shortest high school day. Anyway, so that's the first thing that he says in this point. But that's not the whole point.
Exactly. So he says, we as students are sometimes so exhausted that we can't focus in class. Exactly. What's the point of going to school if you can't focus on what you're learning? So what he's saying is they're exhausted. Exhausted is a way of saying you're extremely tired without energy to do anything else. You could be physically exhausted so much that you can't move your body. I think the kids here are mentally exhausted. They can't use their brain to the best of their ability.
Right. Did you ever go to high school after a horrible night's sleep and you try to pay attention in class and it's just like...
I think I remember university being more exhausting. I had an 8 a.m. architectural history class. I would take notes to prevent myself from falling asleep, but one time I fell asleep while writing a sentence.
Oh.
And I remember waking up and seeing a line on my paper. I was like, oh no. Yeah.
Oh no, you never want that to happen in class.
Yeah.
Anyway, this doesn't really sound like a benefit, but here is the positive to his point. We believe that making the school day shorter will result in students having more energy to learn efficiently. Okay, so he's actually saying that they would probably learn more if they had a shorter day because they would be more awake, they would be listening more. Right, we have a phrase that we need to look at here, result in. So let's take a closer look at that. Okay, so result in basically means cause a situation. So the article is saying that if the school days were shorter, then students would have more energy, okay? So the students having more energy would be because they had shorter school days. Remember, we normally follow result in with either a noun or an ing verb. So a situation could result in anger. It could result in joy. It could result in people losing all of their money. So it's normally a noun or a phrase like that last one. We also saw this word energy, which is a noun, and that's basically the alertness or power that people need to do something. When you've just had a nice long sleep or drunk a strong cup of coffee, you might feel full of energy. You could run 50 kilometers or talk with your friends for hours.
That's a little kwazzang.
Oh, well, that's how I feel after a cup of coffee. If you have little energy, though, you feel very tired and very sleepy. You don't really feel like doing anything. It all seems like too much effort. There's a fancy adjective for this, and it's lethargic. But you can just say, I don't have much energy.
Yeah.
That's also fine. So energy can also be a kind of fuel or electricity as well. So you might hear people talking about solar energy, which is electricity that is generated from sunlight, or green energy, which is energy that is produced sustainably. If we talk about someone being energetic, meanwhile, we mean that they are very active and alert. You know, they're the ones who want to run the 50 kilometers. Okay, here's our example sentence. I don't have the energy to go hiking today because I hardly slept last night.
So yeah, if you have more energy, you're able to use your time more efficiently, right? And efficient, we've talked about this word a few times already, but we haven't talked about what it is. Efficient, or to do something efficiently, is an adverb that means in a way that you can get the results you want without wasting your time, wasting your energy, or wasting the materials that you have. Basically, you're getting the most out of your time, out of what you're doing. So yeah, being efficient about something means working smarter, not harder, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you are being efficient, maybe you can get your homework done in 1 hour instead of 2, especially if you're focusing well and using tricks to kind of make it go faster. Yeah. Doesn't mean you're being lazy, it just means you're being efficient.
Exactly.
And sometimes lazy people are the most efficient.
That is true, because if you come at it with the right mindset, then it's not so bad.
Exactly. All right, so an example sentence for efficiently. Stevie works very efficiently, so she's always ahead of her schedule and gets things done fast.
So jealous of Stevie.
Yeah. So anyway, we are going on to the second point of the proposal suggestions, the second reason that they are suggesting that the school days be shorter. So it says, 2, a later start time would allow students to have more time and energy to explore interests outside school. This is very important, honestly.
It is, because I think later on, once you're working and things like that, you might not have so much time to explore the things you want to do. And high school is a really good time to find out what interests you. So the article continues, life education outside school is important since it allows young people to learn a wider range of ideas and skills. Right, we often hear about people talking about themselves as being book smart or not book smart. And being book smart is a kind of intelligence. You know, you could be very good in class, but there's lots of people who are good at, practical skills or physical skills, and they might not feel that talented because all they do is sit in a classroom. And so for these people who are going to go on to do practical things, it's good to encourage them to try different things as well.
Yeah, I think of the fact that when I was 8, I woke up one day and told my parents I wanted to learn violin. If I'd been in Bushiban my whole life, I don't think I would have been able to. And because of that, I have like musical skills that will be with me my entire life. And I wouldn't have that if I had had to stay in school all the time.
Exactly. So it's really important that you try and find what interests you and you follow those interests. Anyway, that will be very important for your education, which is our next word. See my segue? That was very smooth. Education. Okay, so education is cool. It's also a noun. Education is the process of learning things. Normally, when we talk about education, we mean school and college. However, as we've just been talking about, learning the violin, learning different things about yourself, that's also a kind of education.
Yeah, life education.
Exactly. Whether you're in school, in college, or going to a violin lesson, you're receiving an education. So you're learning about a skill or a way of doing things from these places. And if we talk about the quality of an education, we mean how good or bad that education is. So if you have a great teacher who inspires you, has lots of fun ideas of how to learn things, you're getting a good education from that teacher.
Yeah.
We could also talk about educational activities, experiences, and games. Those are activities, experiences, and games that teach you things and contribute to your education. Let's go on to our example sentence now. Tony left school when he was 13, so he didn't receive a complete education. Okay.
But probably Tony received some other kind of skill. Maybe he started working in some kind of job. But
exactly.
Yeah, you can get a range of different skills, right?
Exactly, you can. And when we talk about a range of ideas or skills, we mean lots of different skills or lots of different ideas or numerous ideas. Range basically means a number of things that are of a similar type So if you say your school has a range of students that are good at sports, then you mean there are lots of different kinds of students that are all good at sports. You know, they could be tall, short, muscular, skinny, fat. Like they could have any kind of body type or personality, but they're all good at sports.
I think of the Olympics this summer, and you see so many different kinds of people who were all the best in the world. You don't have to look a certain way to be good at something. All right, and they're talking about skills. They want to explore a range of skills in life education. So let's learn now what skill means. A skill is a noun that means the ability to do something, but it's not a natural ability. It's an ability that comes from training or learning or from experience or practice. So if you learn the skill of, let's say, working with wood, being a woodworker, that's something you don't naturally know how to do. You have to practice and learn how to do it. That's what makes it a skill. So if you say somebody's a skilled worker, it means they're a worker who has some certain skills that they use in their job. For example, music skills that I learned. That's abilities in music that come from practicing. You could also call skills your abilities, but abilities could be natural or practiced. So the difference is that skills are only practiced. So an example sentence for skills could be, no one can match Christy's skills in singing. She's better than all the other students. That means that Christy's probably had a lot of practice at singing and she's taken lessons for a long time. Yeah, so we see that, you know, kids could learn more skills, they could spend more time in activities if they had more time during the day to do things. And the proposal makes its third point, 3. This change would let families spend more time with each other because they'll be able to have breakfast together. That's a good point.
That is a good point, especially in families where the mums and dads work very late. You know, I can remember my mum would always come home at like maybe 8 p.m. and my dad sometimes would be gone for like a week. So it was like, it wasn't all the time that we got to be together. And I think breakfast is an easy time because everybody gets up at a similar time or more similar time than they come home. Anyway, the article continues, people are getting busier and busier. So we believe this is important. It's a very good point. That's, you know, especially as kids like start getting ready for college, this time you have with your family is special. You don't get it so much once you go to college because you're going to be away from home if you study in another city. Yeah,
the most time that you actually get to spend with your family is when you're a kid and before you move out. After that, your time is very little.
Exactly.
So use it wisely.
Exactly. Eat some breakfast with your mum. Anyway, let's go on to our For You chat question now.
You chat.
All right, so our chat question today, can you think of any other reasons for making school hours shorter? So in the first day we were asking, why should school hours stay the same? And the second day we're asking, why should they be shorter? Why else should they be shorter? What do you think?
Okay. Okay, well, we've gone through a lot of them actually. I think that focus is one of the big things.
Yes.
Having a long school day so you can cram in lots of information and prepare for lots of different exams. I just don't see that anybody's really going to stay that focused for all that time and take in all that knowledge and carry it all forward. I think
they'll probably forget it once they're done with the exam. That's what usually happens.
I think if they worked hard on creating a curriculum that focused on specific life skills, so like math, for example, you wouldn't get rid of math, you need to have math. But if we focused on more practical areas of math, you could make it a shorter class, financial math, exactly, being good with money, then you could make the day a little bit shorter, but you would still be teaching important skills. So I think that you could actually make people more independent and practical people when they as they grow up and become adults if you shorten the day in the right way.
Yeah. And also I think, you know, along with activities, kids need time to socialize. Because as a kid, you don't really know, your social skills are not that good. Right? You need to spend time with people. You need to spend time with people your own age, people older than you, people younger than you, and learn how to be a person in society. So I think that's really important. Social education.
Exactly. That's why I'm so awkward.
Oh, man.
Yes, my school day, that was the extra 45 minutes of my school day.
Just
cut into my ability to have conversations with people. Anyway, I think you guys could actually turn this into an interesting debate. What you can do is take the first day's For You Chat question and the second and see what reasons you can come for both sides of the argument.
Yeah.
You might choose to have longer school hours. That might make more sense to you. You can work out what opinion that you think is more valid.
There's no right or wrong way. You just have to look at what's the reasons, what's the opinions, what supports your thoughts. And it's a really good way to think about something from both sides because this affects you. This is what you are doing right now.
Exactly.
So that's all that we have.
That's all we have for today. So for English for You, I'm Seb.
And I'm Kat.
And we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Vocabulary Review.
Outline. Jack quickly outlined his plan to make his company grow. He wanted his employees to hear his ideas before making changes. Benefit. This phone offers some benefits over the cheaper one, such as a better camera. Energy. Jill was feeling sick yesterday, so she didn't have much energy. Efficiently. Removing old files from your computer will help it run more efficiently. Education. Phil received a good education as he went to a great school and also learned a lot at home. Skill. It's important to learn certain skills, like how to cook and how to change a light.
智慧小补帖
Petitioner. Suggestion. Exhausted.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作。活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net